Hi, it's Ben for Patreon, and we'll be talking about a custom LEGO Batmobile that I've made. So the general idea and inspiration for this build came from a scene in the LEGO Movie 2, where all the characters are driving apocalypse-themed vehicles. And I thought to myself, if there are lots of apocalypse-themed vehicles, then surely Batman would have a Apocalypse Batmobile. When I was making this LEGO Batmobile, I looked at various different pictures of various versions of the Batmobile, and now I just made a basic version of a LEGO Batmobile, and from there I just took off various different parts of it, and replace them with apocalyptic themed elements. At the front of this vehicle there are two guns, which are minifig accessories which I clipped on there. There's also a spike for defense, and there's a batarang that's just been clipped on there for aesthetical detail. There's also two lights, one is round and one is square. I made them different shapes to make it look uneven and messy, so it looks like it's just been cobbled together by Batman from scraps they just found in the apocalypse. I gave this Batmobile a big engine because I think it looks good, and also it sort of makes sense for an apocalypse, as you would want to get away from people quite quickly, and that would help Batman do that. And also there are two exhausts coming out of the engine, which have flames coming out of them, mainly for aesthetical detail, but also I just think it kind of makes sense for an apocalyptic vehicle. In the middle of this build there are some bars to protect Batman from anyone who might try and attack him. There's also a seat for him to sit in whilst he's driving the Batmobile, and there's a steering wheel to steer it with. The back of this Batmobile is mainly made up of defences, so first of all there's this blade which can slice cars that are passing by. Secondly, there's this weapons rack which is full of batarangs, which anyone who's on the Batmobile can throw at enemies. And finally, there's this gun turret, which can rotate here, and also at the base. So there's lots of rotation to get into different angles to shoot at different targets. The gun turret itself is pretty basic. There's just a little bit of detail up here. There's a bar here with a crossbow for Emmett or Lucy to use. And there's some protection at the back of the build, along with the front of the build, and a chain so minifigs can climb up it. All around this build I've used various bits of dark tan and brown, and that is to show that it's broken down over time. Batman has had to replace the parts of the Batmobile with various different scraps that he's found around Apocalypseburg. That'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.